above them all, the name above them all. The King is in the room. Lord, we enthrone you upon our praise. The King is in the room. There's freedom and life anywhere you reign. Jesus, we bow only to you. We're laying down all of our crowns. The King is in the room. Fear has to flee, shame has to leave before the King. Before the King, chains have to break, dry bones awake, prepare the way. Fear has to flee, shame has to leave before the King. Before the King, chains have to break, dry bones awake, prepare the way. The King is in the room. Lord, we enthrone you upon our praise. The King is in the room. There's freedom and life anywhere you reign. Jesus, we bow only to you. We're laying down all of our crowns. The King is in the room. Prepare the way, he's in the room.
Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed your lunch and your fellowship. I happen to love my time of prayer with Brandy and Ann. Really felt the Holy Spirit. I just pray that you felt the Holy Spirit while you fellowshipped. Before we dive into the business portion of our meeting, I want to say that we are going to have a video from one of our global partner leaders. We are so grateful for our partnership with Global Partners. And then after that, my very new best friend, Jackie Fussner, is going to come up and she's going to share more about what is happening from Global Partners.
I heard about this group of people in Central Asia. They have a population of nearly 30 million. Their history is marked by political upheaval. Islam has been the central and unifying force in their society. In fact, almost all of these people see Islam as central to their identity. The strict religious demands of Islam leave them bound by fear and superstitions. They've never heard about the freedom they can have in Jesus.
Hamını salamlayıram. Mənim adım Nailədir. Mən müsəlman ölkəsində yaşayıram. Bu yaxınlarda Beynəlxalq Wesleyan Kilsəsinin konfransında imanlı bacı qardaşlar ilə yığışmışdıq. 28 il bundan qabaq sizlər bizim xalqımıza xidmətçilər göndərmişdiniz və bu çoxların xoş xəbəri eşitməyə səbəb oldu. Mən müjdəni illərlə eşitdim və nəhayət İsa'ya hə deyib ürəyimi verdim. Dünyada hələ minlərlə xoş xəbəri eşitməyən xalqlar var. Göndərməkdə davam edin.
Some of you probably already realized this, but the first team sent to Naila, some of whom are in this room today, were sent by the GLR. Isn't that incredible? On behalf of Global Partners and the Global Wesleyan Church, thank you for all the ways that you have partnered with the International Wesleyan Church and our missionaries for the long haul. You are playing a key role in reaching those who wouldn't otherwise have access to the gospel. My name is Jackie, and for the past 12 years, it's hard to believe, I've served on the mobilization team with Global Partners, meaning I'm here to help you as you mobilize your people to participate globally. Take a moment, if you haven't already, and scan the QR code that will be up on the screen, because I have some incredible free resources and global connections for you that you don't want to miss. So when you scan this, drop your email in, and they will land right in your inbox. You're receiving a complete resource kit for effective short-term teams, brand new children's ministry curriculum, and an invite to a mission collaboration event this fall. I'm excited to share with you that starting this summer, my role with Global Partners is actually shifting to work right here with you in the GLR in missionary mobilization. So I am your new regional mobilizer for Global Partners. Part of this is because my husband and I are responding to a call that we sense in our life to join the Waha field, which, if you remember from last year, is GP's only domestic field located right here in our region. The city where we will live is home to the largest concentration of Arab Muslims living outside of the Middle East, and our team seeks to connect them to Jesus and help the local church do the same. Moving to the GLR is a bit of a homecoming for me, as I was once just a youth group kid hanging out in Plainwell, Michigan, where my pastor, there they are, my pastor in church believed in me and discipled me, and then strategically connected me to global opportunities that changed my life. And now my role is to help you do the same for the people that you shepherd. So I can't wait to come alongside you and see what God does.
Thanks, Jackie. Wow, I am beyond excited to have Jackie and Aaron back with us here in the GLR. What a gift that will be to all of us. Jackie and I have worked closely together through the years. She was my partner in crime, partner in ministry, creating Next, and the internship program that was previously mentioned. So it's a thrill to have Jackie in our area. So she is your go-to person for resourcing your church to partner with and serve the global church. So wow, that's thrilling. Okay, go Global Partners. All right, sorry, Chris, for taking the liberty to get my plug in. All right, back to business, your favorite part of today. All right. I just want to make a couple clarifying statements here. Please double check that you are on the correct Wi-Fi network. I'm not sure if those are going to show up again, but at your site, yes, there they are. Wonderful. Make sure that you are on this Wi-Fi network at your respective sites. That will help everything go smoothly. And if you are using paper ballots, do not save them till the end of the day. Each time we have a ballot vote, I will call for paper ballots. They need to be turned into the tellers to be counted. If you wait till the end of the day, they won't be counted toward the vote. So just to make that clear, you'll keep turning those paper ballots in with every vote. All right, I call our business meeting to restart. So welcome back, and we're going to jump right back into voting on those 4 nominee categories that we talked about earlier, and we're all set with our ballots. So first of all, we are voting on the Regional Board of Administration, and as we had no nominees from the floor, we are able to do this as a simple voice vote. So those names are on the screen that you can look at, and as we did before, we will do a voice vote at each one of our sites. So here at Frontline, all in favor of the nominees for the Regional Board of Administration say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Hearing none, that passes here. Michaela, you're up.
All right, Heritage. All in favor of this, say aye. All opposed, say no. All right, Rena, looks like we're good. The ayes have it.
Great. Red Cedar?
Here at Red Cedar, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. The ayes have it, Dina.
Great. Thanks, Chad. Wonderful. One down, guys. We've got this. Next up, we have Regional Secretary. The Regional Secretary must be voted on by ballot according to the discipline. And that's why this vote is a little bit different, even though we have just one nominee before you. We still need to do this by ballot vote. So this is the time to open up your Whova app, go to messages, and get that poll. It should be there before you now. If you are voting by paper ballot, it's the green one. You can see a little sample of it on the slide. And I'd like to open that voting now. Go ahead and... Yeah, okay. As your paper ballots are finished, you can raise those up and hand those in to the tellers who will be coming down the aisles. So tellers at Heritage and Red Cedar, please also be collecting those paper ballots. We have Chad. Turn off your phone, for crying out loud. We have one up here. Oh, Chad, you're so easy. Any other paper ballots here at front?
Hey, Dina.
We have some in the back.
Dina, we're in a bit of a pickle here.
Tellers are right on it. I love it. Okay, we need about 30 more seconds, so we'll just wait here. We have a couple people struggling with the app, so we're just going to give them the chance to get that figured out. I believe it's the cluster of new hands that are struggling, so we're going to be patient with them. Yes, do that. We're good. Okay, we are going to close the voting at this time. And this will be the last time I remind you that if you have paper ballots, you're turning those in every time. Great. Good work, everyone. And to be clear, at the end of this of our meeting, we'll announce the results of all of these, all of the nominees and of our memorials. So that will happen later. We're going to tally everything and then announce them all at once. All right. Next, we have the General Conference delegates. Breaking news. We're pausing. I had breaking news. Heritage is having issues, so we're going to just pause a second. Oh, you are on the edge of your seats for breaking news, aren't you? You're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. All right, we can close the voting at this time for the regional secretary. So that now is closed. Are you ready? Breaking news. Breaking news. Brooks Sayer is removing himself as a delegate to the General Conference. He is one of the ordained members nominees. And so that makes it really nice for us today because Dave Hansen, who is nominated from the floor from Lakeview Community Church in Michigan, is also clergy. And so that makes us able to do a voice vote. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we're going to do this just in one. We have both the lay and ordained slates before us, and I love again that we have that equal balance of people who are shaping our denomination. So, all in favor of the, let me just read it I want to make sure I do this right. All right, we are doing this here. All in favor of the nominees for the General Conference delegates, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. All right, it passed here at Frontline. Michaela, how about you at Heritage?
Okay, Heritage, all in favor of the nominees, and Dave, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. All right, it's looking good here, Dina.
Chad.
Here in Wisconsin, all in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The motion carries, Dina.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I am grateful for all of those people who will represent us at General Conference. All right, now we are going to the nominating team. This one will be a ballot vote. And I want to just be clear here that we're trying to keep the balance of lay, excuse me. Sorry. Keep the balance of lay and clergy on this nominating team as well. Chris Conrad is a member of the nominating team. So he is clergy. So we ask that you would vote for no more than 2 ordained, thank you, or 3 lay. You have 3 ordained choices before you. So please pick 2 of the 3. And the 3 lay. And we'd like to open that voting now on Whova. And if you're using a paper ballot, it's the pinkish purplish one. It looks blue on the screen. Did I write the wrong color down? What color is the paper ballot? Blue. My bad. Oh my goodness, I forgot to say, if you are voting by paper, you must write in if you're voting for Joel Higginbotham, and his name is at the bottom of the screen here. So if you'd like to vote for him, please write that name in on your paper ballot. I'm sorry I didn't say that before. All right, we're going to start collecting those paper ballots. We can do that at all of our sites. Thank you, tellers. Going to give that a little bit more time for all those votes to come in. All right, I'm going to close the poll at this time. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, you're going to give yourself a round of applause at this point because we've made it through all of the nominees. Thank you. All right, and now we are going into our time of memorials, and we have 4 memorials before us. They are coming recommended by the Regional Conference Board, by the Regional Board of Administration. And so those that are passed will be sent on to the General Board to consider for recommendation for General Conference in 2026. So let me just give a little context for what we're doing here. Janelle Vernon, General Secretary of the Wesleyan Church, explains the importance of memorials like this. It is through memorials that Wesleyans establish our culture, faithfully steward our history, and shape our future of faithful witness and mission fulfillment. There is value to what we are doing here today. Each person will be given a 2-minute time limit to speak per memorial, and there's going to be a countdown clock on each screen, so that we can just keep the thing moving. I've really been asking my people to be praying that I would have the right balance of moving things along and having people be heard. So that is the heart that I'm coming to you with today. Let me just remind you, if you want to speak or make an amendment, go to the floor mic, go to the attendant near down the front. Over here, it's for at Frontline, it's over here. Go to the attendant, and you're going to check in with the attendant there. You've had these proposed memorials, and they will be on the screen as well as in Nahuva. Please bring any amendments in writing to the front, and there is a limited number of printed memorials with the attendants for your use if desired, if you're wanting to make some kind of amendment. Please include your name and church before you make your comment or amendment. And if you're making an amendment, I'd ask that you just kind of remain maybe here in the front row until your amendment is voted on, in case we need to make like have a question or like a friendly amendment to that, so that we can find you quickly. The screen is going to be updated with the amendment that is being discussed. One more piece of advice for us. Let me recommend that we focus our precious time and our limited time on the memorials more than the whereas statements. That's just a suggestion to keep things moving. And we're going to begin with Memorial 1, Adjustment of Mission Designation. So I move its adoption, and if anyone has a comment or an amendment, please come to the front and at each of the sites, and we'll be going back and forth and trying to monitor how that's going to work. But please come if you have something that you'd like to speak to, or if you have an amendment. I'm seeing no movement here at Frontline, and I don't want to cut that off fast, but I'm going to just ask if there's anything happening over at Heritage.
There's no movement over here at Heritage, Dina.
All right, and what about at Red Cedar? Chad, do you have anyone wanting to speak?
Things are very still here right now, and no one is wanting to speak.
Still, but the Holy Spirit is moving, I'm sure. Wow. Okay, I'm just looking. We have someone over here. We do have someone here at Frontline who is going to speak. He's checking in right now. So let's wait for this. All right, give us your name and church, and then.
Matthew Dickinson, from Caring Community in Albion. So I'm all in favor of this memorial in concept. I just don't believe that mission is the correct designation to fit in there. In the discipline, in the church organization sections, missions are not in any obvious way churches. They're something that's not a church, basically, by definition. From the calls we had to discuss it, it seemed that part of the goal was to get voting rights for the pastors and or members and have a voice at district conference. And the way it's configured, I don't see that becoming a pastoral charge, which is the requirement to have that voice at district conference. So I think if we were to move forward with this, it should be in a different designation, not mission, which is effectively not a church. So putting the microchurch in a not a church category seems not the best approach, even though I'm all in favor of doing something with it.
Okay, so to be clear, you're speaking against the memorial. Okay, thank you so much. All right, I'm going to just do one more round quick. Heritage, did anyone else stand to speak? Michaela was in the
No,
moment.
Dina. There's no movement here at all.
Okay. But thank you for being so intent on that memorial. All right, Chad, anything added at Red Cedar?
Nothing further from northern Wisconsin.
All right, then I'm going to call for the vote then. So let's do we need to have a ballot vote for all of these memorials. And I'd like you to open your app, and we are ready to push out the vote for Memorial 1, Adjustment of Mission Designation. And I believe that's the red paper ballot, yes. I'm seeing some paper ballots ready, so tellers, you can come forward and start to collect those. And you can collect those at Heritage and Red Cedar as well. Just a little more time for those votes to roll in. All right, I'm going to close the voting at this time. And again, we will announce the results at the end of our program. All right, now we have before us Memorial 2, Restoration of New Church Plant Adjustment to USF. And I move its adoption. If anyone would like to speak for or against or make an amendment, please make your way, do the thing. And you don't have to wait until someone is finished. If anybody else wants to say something, I'll keep us in order. Like if someone makes an amendment, we'll keep talking about the amendment. But still, if at all you're thinking you're going to speak, let's get over and get registered. Thank you. All right, let's start here.
My name is Nathan Nyhoff, Hillside Wesleyan Church, Clyde, Michigan, speaking against Memorial 2. I am hesitant about the undue strain on already limited resources this memorial would place on young church plants. I echo the concern I've heard amongst other champions of church planting that the restoration of this new church plant adjustment to USF would hinder young plants' resources in their infancy. I recognize that the given language of this memorial, it is possible that this would have no bearing on the financial burden of church plants in the GLR. In a desire to ease the financial strain of church plants across the denomination, I will humbly be voting no against Memorial 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, I know we have someone else getting ready here. Okay, great. All right.
Reverend Andy Merritt, River Tree Church, Jackson, Michigan. I'm just want to comment in favor of this. Our median size church plant after 3 years is right around 50 people, and their per capita giving, the giving per person is right around $900. And so our third-year church planters have right around $40,000 to try to make everything happen. And they may have other grants and gifts on top of that, but I feel that especially in those early years that we're talking amounts of $4,000. We're not talking huge amounts of money here for the most part. And that we have planters who are struggling to feed their families, and that they could probably use those $4,000 more than in the district coffers.
All right, thank you. We have one more here, and then we'll see at this point, and then we'll see if Heritage and. All right, yes, and right now, okay, go ahead with your presenting an amendment.
Yes, my name is Joshua Cahill. I'm with Mission Life Church in Ionia, Michigan. And the amendment that I would like to see added to this is for churches that go through revitalization, that struggle with the same type of thing. Churches that are walking through the process of trying to rebuild a church that was already planted. And so that's the amendment I would like to see added to this.
So do you have the wording? Can you read what go ahead and read what you're going to say, and then that will show up on the screen, and it'll be highlighted in blue so that we can see what the amendment is.
Yes, the amendment would be that the financial burden that's placed on church planters is also placed on pastors or church groups that are revitalizing churches as well.
Okay, and the wording is being added here. Is this the wording that you gave? This should also apply
to churches that are going through revitalization. Yep.
Got it. Sorry. Okay, so thank you. So we have an amendment. It's been seconded here. Hang on just a second. If you can just stay here in case somebody's going to make a friendly amendment or something, then we can find you quick. All right, so because we have an amendment at this point, even if people are waiting at Heritage and Red Cedar to speak for or against, we're going to pause that for a second. And okay, and hang on, let me just finish this sentence. So we're going to deal with this amendment first before we go on to other things. So we're going to only pay attention to this amendment for the current discussion. Question. Can you come to the microphone, please? Actually, you need, okay.
I'm Danielle Freed, Daybreak Church, GLR. I have a question for people over here. Do we have a designation of revitalization within the denomination to use that language as a piece of this structure?
Chris, can you come to the microphone, please, to speak? Or yeah, just up here. You have a microphone. He sleeps with it, too. Mary loves that.
Yeah, we're all thankful I don't. So what's on the floor right now is the amendment,
yes.
Right? I would propose, sir, an amendment to your amendment, if you're agreeable to it, and that is that we need to add a couple of words just to as approved by the district or regional board.
Okay, that's a friendly amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to the microphone so everybody can hear you.
Because there is, right now, while we talk a little bit in the discipline about churches and revitalization, we don't really spell that out clearly enough. And so in order to make that work in real time or in real life, the regional board or the district board would have to designate that church as a church that's officially in revitalization in order to get that.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is a friendly amendment, and so now there are no more changes to this. We either have to vote this up or down and then go back through this again. So at this point, thank you. You are dismissed. Get out of here. Okay. All right. So I don't see anybody over here, but we are only speaking about this amendment right now. But do we have anyone at Heritage that would like to make a comment, speak for or against this amendment that's in blue?
No, Dina, we do not.
All right. Great. And for you at Red Cedar?
None here.
Okay. None here. All right. So now what we do, seeing no more people in line, yes, to this amendment. You're speaking about this? Okay. You can register over there. And if anybody else, okay, we're going to wait to hear what.
So,
name and church.
Adam Lipscomb, City Life Church. I think I'm just, I think I'm speaking against the amendment for this possible reason, and I don't know the answer to this. I just want to pause for a moment. So the question was asked earlier, is there currently a revitalization process that's within the discipline? I don't know the answer to that. I didn't bring my discipline, but if there is, I'm afraid that if this were to go to the general conference, it would be possible that the whole amendment would be voted down because of an error in our designation for this proposal. So I just want to make sure that we're thinking through it clearly and that it has congruence with the rest of the discipline.
Super. Thanks. Adam, speaking against the amendment. Okay, so right now we are going to do a voice vote at each site for or against this amendment, and then we'll go back to discussion for the whole memorial, all right? So we're just voting on, are we including, this should also apply to churches that are going through revitalization as approved by the district or regional board, all right? So all in favor of this amendment, say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. Okay. That's close. Okay. We're going to need to do a ballot on that because we're not even going to continue with voice votes because there are more delegates here than at Heritage and Red Cedar. So at this point, we are moving that to a ballot, and we're only, again, now we're adding a ballot about this amendment, and then we'll vote on the whole memorial in a bit.
What we'll do, sorry, I turned my mic off. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and take this vote by ballot. So team, as soon as you're ready to take this vote, please let us know. Because all we're doing now.
We're ready.
We're ready, good. No, you're not.
No, we're not.
Okay, you'll let me know, great.
Nope, I saw
All we're
thumbs
going to
up.
do, again, we're not voting on the actual memorial. All we're doing is voting on the amendment.
Yep.
Yes or no, okay? But what we can do is we can go on now and talk about the third memorial. We don't have to sit here and twiddle our thumbs. What we're going to do is vote on this. That we'll have to get that back, and that doesn't happen instantaneously. It does on the phone, right? But not on the paper ballots. We're probably 15 minutes out from them counting all the paper ballots, and we can't go forward on the memorial number 2 until that vote comes back. So, what we will do is that we will, as soon as they can push this vote out to us, we'll do that. Yeah.
Point of
Rising vote. Just count heads.
blank ballot. Okay, we have.
It would be quicker.
Okay.
If the chair thinks.
Yeah, no, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. To be candid with you, I'm not sure. Here's why I think I wouldn't want to do that. It's because I can't control if our non-voting members. Yeah, sorry, what was the question? Sorry, I'm so sorry. The question, because it didn't come through the microphone, was, can we just do here at Heritage a standing vote? Excuse me, here at Frontline a standing vote. Yes, we could, but the problem is that I want to be very careful. I trust all you guys, but if anyone were to audit this business meeting right now, I can't look at everybody, and because we don't have a bar set up, and I can't see if you're a voting member or a non-voting member.
The bar is your name tag.
Yeah, so as a result of that, I think to be more safe, in case anybody were to audit us, I think this is the most correct way to do it. And can I just go on record in front of my general superintendent and say, for once, I did the correct thing when it comes to something here.
Okay.
It'll never happen again, okay? I will never follow Robert's Rules of Order that good again.
All right.
But I'm trying. Okay, are we ready?
Before we go to the third memorial, I just want to know about how much time, because we have blank ballots, blank paper ballots that could be used.
Okay.
So, Elena, we're almost there.
almost
So
there.
I think.
Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da,
Okay.
da, da, da. Sorry. And I will say, hey, seriously, and they can't hear us now anyways because they're working so feverishly hard, but the people that are working behind the scenes and all this to make all of our phones work and the Hoover app work, to do all this real time, it's a thing. So super grateful to them for all their work.
We're ready.
You ready? Okay. So the vote should now be populated in Hoover. And those of you who have a paper ballot, you should have a blank paper ballot.
There's a black blank paper ballot that you can use. And if you are voting for the amendment, then say yes. And if you are voting against, say no. And depending on the numbers as they come through Hoover, we may not need to take time to count the paper ballots. Is that true, Elena? That's true. Yes. We have someone rising to, hang on just a second. Oh, yeah. The way that it's worded in Hoover is awkward. We are not voting for or against the memorial as amended. We are only voting for the amendment. So I don't know if we have the correct ballot in Hoover. We do? We do. No, we don't. It should not say a memorial as amended. It should say the amendment to Memorial 2. So to complete, I wonder, Elena, do We are going to redo that ballot. I am so sorry. So at this time, we are going to move on to Memorial 3 and begin that conversation. I will really try to keep us on track here, people. And I wish we could do it like immediate, but can't quite. So we're going to hang with me. We're going to have multiple conversations happening at the same time. All right, so we are moving on to Memorial 3, creation of sacramental certification. The original said that it was adding paragraph 2338.5, when in fact it should have said 2388.5. Because this is just an editorial change, that change has been made, and the corrected version is before you on the screens. The memorial that's that's online and that's in the app might have the wrong numbers there, but the one on the screen is correct. Yes, down there. Okay? All right, so just to be clear, that correction has already been made, so we don't need to do that, and I move its adoption. I believe we have someone here that's ready to speak to Memorial 3, and maybe with an amendment. With a comment, okay? Remember to say your name and church. Oh, you can speak to the people.
I can speak to people.
You don't need to speak to me.
All right. Well, it's pointed your way.
Oh, okay.
I'm Jeff Lemire at Brockway Wesleyan. I support this amendment. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "But you were a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." You were not a people. Once you were not a people, but now the people of God. I don't understand why we would make the sharing of the Lord's Supper a barrier between the clergy and the laity. I would like to see that barrier removed, and I'm supporting this motion because it takes a step in that direction.
Thank you so much. Any other comments here at Frontline on Memorial 3? Oh. All right. Michaela, do you have anyone wanting to make a comment on Memorial 3?
No, Dina, we do not have anyone here at Heritage.
Chad, do you have anybody? Speaking here?
We do not have anyone on this end, Dina, but we want you to know we think you're doing a great job.
Wow. Chad. You're making me blush now. All right, I think we are ready to vote for Memorial 3. So let's go ahead and for or against. So are we ready to push out Memorial 3? So there is no amending to it. All right. We're ready to vote on Memorial 3, the creation of sacramental certification. So voting is open, and if you have a paper ballot, it's green. Paper ballot collection time. I just said that. Just a few more seconds. I wish I brought my knitting for these moments. No? What's that? Sing a song? Nah. Oh, I know that. Okay. All right, we can close the voting on Memorial 3. Nice work, everyone. And we have the amendment for Memorial 2 ready to go out in the app. So again, reminders. If we could get the words back up for Memorial 2. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's something there. Great. So we are only voting on the blue sentence. All right, we are only voting on that amendment right now. The voice vote was too close to call. So please, I think it's out there. Do it. Use the black blank ballot if you are voting by paper ballot. Yes, we are approving this, or no, we are not approving the amendment. Okay. Let's be sure that all the paper ballots have been collected. We're still waiting for more votes to come in. We can't quite call it yet. Okay. Update. We're counting the paper ballots is what's happening right now. Okay. We're going to go to the fourth memorial while they count those paper ballots, and we get, man, you guys are really close. I feel very justified that we went to a ballot instead of just trying to discern the voice vote. Okay, so let's move on to Memorial 4, promoting egalitarian practice in the Wesleyan Church. We have before us this memorial, and I move its adoption. If anyone would like to speak for or opposed to this memorial, you can come now, or if you have an amendment that you'd like to make. At any of the sites, feel free to go forward about Memorial 4. Okay, I don't see anyone here at Frontline. Let's go to Heritage. Do you have anyone speaking to Memorial 4?
No, we do not here at Heritage.
Okay, thanks for looking, though. Chad?
We do not have anyone here at Red Cedar, and I do appreciate you moving that last vote along. We were getting ready to call on Todd Arneson to yodel again, so.
Okay. Thanks, Chad. I'm always just like pins and needles. What's he going to say this time? Okay. Wow. All right. We still don't have anybody here. I think we're ready to vote on Memorial 4. What? You guys are killing it. All right. Please go ahead and vote. Memorial 4. It should be in your app. And your paper ballots are using the yellow ballot. All right, you can go ahead and begin collecting those paper ballots at all of the sites. Idea. We are counting ballots still, and we'll be with you in just a moment. Last call for Memorial 4 votes. We have a ballot over here that they're just really wanting to turn in. I mean, they're so excited about this process. Wave that ballot high. All right, we're going to close the poll for voting on Memorial 4. And I'm just going to do a quick check. Are we ready, or do we need a little bit more time on the amendment? We need a smidge more time. So, Chris, I'm going to call you up to do what you talked to me about. It's a secret, guys. It's a secret.
My mic is on. All three sites. First of all, again, there's a guy that you will never see whose name is Paul Van Dyke, who's making all this work on all three sites so we can hear and see each other. And I just want to say thank you to Paul and his team. This person has no idea I'm about to do this, but we have a unique opportunity today to honor one of our own. Pastor Dr. Reverend Wayne Schmidt came into the position of General Superintendent in the summer of 2016. In just under a year, Pastor Wayne will complete 10 years of dedicated service to the Wesleyan Church by being in that position. As many of us are aware, upon graduation from college, Pastor Wayne joined Dick Wynn in planting Kentwood Community Church. Not only did Wayne give his co-planter his very best efforts, he also gave him his kidney. Soon, Rhonda Chapin's dad took on national leadership of Youth for Christ, and Pastor Wayne remained on as the sole senior pastor of KCC, where he served for a total of 30 years. Under his leadership, KCC grew to roughly 2,500 people and became a multi-ethnic congregation, one of the first in our denomination. In 2010, he began to give leadership to Wesley Seminary in its very early years and continued to serve there until he was elected into the position of general superintendency. It's very rare that a person would graduate from college and have only 3 ministry positions that would end up spanning what will end up being 47 years next summer of ministry. Like I said, I was fired from 2 churches. I don't have that distinction. But Wayne has been both so incredibly loved and respected that people kept wanting him to hang around wherever he served. He's the author of 6 books and has been a mentor and a friend to thousands of leaders both inside and outside of our denomination. This will be the last time that we're blessed to have him in the Great Lakes region in his official capacity as General Superintendent. So we wanted to make sure that we honored him appropriately for his service to the kingdom and to the king. His awesome bride, Jan, helped us, and I think Jan's here, helped us with some gift ideas for him. First of all, Wayne, you not only have a bigger heart than you have a bigger heart than I do, but you have a much bigger kidney. The one that you have left is a lot bigger than mine. I'll just say that. We wanted to increase our honor umbrella just a little bit, though, today. One of the things that we recognize is that although Pastor Wayne has been the one with the title, his entire family has been involved with ministry along with him for all these years. So we want to not only acknowledge Pastor Wayne, but we also want to acknowledge the Schmidt family. Acknowledge, of course, Jan and the kids and the in-laws and all those. And I know, Jan, that you hate public display to be in public stuff, but I just want to say thank you. And I don't mean this to be uncomfortable for any of the Schmidt family, but Schmidts, would you mind coming up front for just a minute? We will not belabor this. Hang on. We're going to do it, but come on, please don't make us wait like all day long. And Pastor Wayne, would you come as well? This entire family has a legacy and a heritage which we deeply respect, sir. And you have served well. And I know you've got another 11 months of service. You're not dying, nor are you done. And for what it's worth, Pastor Wayne and I are already in conversation about him serving, because as most of you know, he lives still in the Great Lakes region. And so we've already talked to him about having a position in the GLR. He wants it to be voluntary. I think that's just because he doesn't want to have to, but he's going to work with Marketplace Multipliers, we pray. The thing that he's passionate about, he's going to work with here in our region and work with all of our churches in the 3-state area. Pastor Wayne, there are not words to describe how deeply grateful I am personally, and that we are collectively for you and your leadership. And Jan and the kids and the grandkids, you guys rock. You're amazing. Thank you for giving up your dad, your father-in-law, your grandfather, all the times. Jan, you are a rock star. And we just want to say thank you. So at all 3 sites, can we now say thank you to the Schmidt family? I think it's really cool if you happen to be being ordained today, or if you've been ordained in the last 10 years, that Pastor Wayne's had a part in that and has signed an ordination certificate for you. I think that's really cool. And I have to tell you something sweet that was said we asked Jan and the kids, and actually Pastor Wayne had no idea that Jan was going to be here or the kids were going to be here. So we surprised him, and we told Jan about what time it would be, and she said, he has a honing device on me. He tends to know where I am at any given day. He can sense my presence when I'm in the room. But that speaks to a deep and enduring relationship and marriage, which we also actually honor today. And so thank you again for being with us. Thank you, Pastor Wayne, for serving so well. And thank you, those in the GLR, for helping me to recognize him today. Okay? Praise be to God. And yeah, I think it will fit in the Highlander, bro, and we'll help you get it in there. Okay? Okay. Go ahead, ma'am.
That's right. Great. Thank you so much. All right. We have made it through 3 memorials and a bit of another. And so we are ready to announce that the proposed amendment has passed. And so we will now include that sentence now in this memorial. Okay? So are we with me? I think we're back on Memorial 2. Is that what? Okay, great. We are at Memorial 2, and I open the floor, the mic. We have a comment. Okay, so you can go ahead and make a comment now on this entire memorial or make an amendment.
All right.
Name?
John Freed, Daybreak Church, Hudsonville, Michigan. I first want to say I really deeply respect the discernment process of the RBA. And I want to let everybody know that in the GLR, we do not have any church planters who are struggling to feed their children. I promise you that. So while I appreciate the intent behind it, I believe this memorial introduces unnecessary complexity and risk into how we structure support for new church plants across the Wesleyan Church, and not just here in the GLR. And I am speaking towards church planting and not revitalization, which has been added. It may seem optional, but even allowing this model opens the door to confusion and uneven expectations across all districts. We need clarity, consistency, and a unified approach to multiplication funding, not more options that dilute our philosophy and create unintended pressure. I encourage this conference to vote no.
Okay, thank you. We have another comment here at Frontline. Thank you.
Hi there, Jim Ghoulish, The Branch. I agree with this memorial. I want to kind of bring to you from my perspective as a church planter. When we're planting churches, we're not only planting churches, we're building boards, advisory teams. We're building into people. And from my personal experience, building into a board or an advisory team, when we're trying to talk about money during those times, we're talking with non-Christians, brand new Christians, people who just belong to this thing called the Wesleyan Church, right? They're trying to figure this thing out. And so one of the things that the reason why I would support this memorial is things that when we're talking to real people in the trenches, they are kind of freaked out about money. And so from my experience, it's kind of like, well, wait a minute, we have to give part of our money to a district. And so part of the discipleship process for me when I'm putting together a board for the very first time is trying to let them understand that this is a good thing, but it goes a long way when we can say they're edging us into this thing. So that's one of the things I want to just bring as a personal experience as a church planter. The reason why we're really investing into these people who are brand new to this thing as church plants. They're brand new to a board. They're brand new to USF. Most of them are brand new to the Wesleyan Church. And so that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring forward my support for the memorial.
Super. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just ask if we have anyone at our other sites to see if they have any comments or other items to discuss. Michaela?
Hi, Dina. No, we do not have anybody here at Heritage. Thank you.
Red Cedar?
and then here at Red Cedar.
Okay. All right. And we have a comment.
I just have I don't know if I'm.
Name, can you just
Adam
remind us?
Lipscomb,
Thanks.
City Life Church. And I'm not sure if I'm getting the process correct here, but we do have in the most recent discipline, we just checked, a designation for developing churches, and I believe that all revitalizing churches are developing churches. There is USF relief for those developing churches. So because of that, I don't know. Is there a procedural thing with parliamentary law procedure to say this is overlapping another part of the discipline that is
it's
not right?
a great question, Pastor. It was a great question, Adam. Fantastic question. I think I would, again, as we all know, I can be wrong about this. I don't think I'm wrong here. Just because a church goes, you're right, that the discipline does make available for a church to go back into developing church status, but that it doesn't mean that automatically that you become a developing church if you're going through revitalization. Because as we know, as you go through revitalization, the board then becomes the regional board of administration. You have to give up that. That's part of what happens, right? Churches could go through a revitalization process and not become a developing church. And so what you said is absolutely correct, but just because a church is going through revitalization does not automatically mean that they're in developing church status, which is why I recommended putting the RBA or the DBA designation in there, because if I'm a board member, of a local church, I may want my church to go through a revitalization process, and I might petition the RBA or the DBA to do that, but I don't want to go into developing church status and there give up, our local board of administration. Does that make sense? That's what was going through my head.
Fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. You had a question, your question is answered. You're not speaking for or against.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, and we have one more.
I'm Jeff Lemire from Brockway Wesleyan. I'm calling for the question.
Okay, we're calling for the question. And so we need to take a voice vote on if we are ready for that. So we can just do that quickly here. At Frontline, all in favor of having this move to a ballot, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, hearing none, let's move over to Heritage.
Okay, Heritage, all in favor of having this move to a ballot, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Okay, Dina, we are settled in the ayes.
All right, and Chad?
Here at Red Cedar, all in favor of this moving to a ballot, say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no.
All right, we are ready to vote. So go open up your Whova app, and we are voting on Memorial 2, Restoration of New Church Plant Adjustment to USF. You're voting, this is the amended memorial. And if you are voting by a paper ballot, it's this blue color. Let's start turning in any of those paper ballots at all of the sites. Last call for any votes in the app or for paper ballots. Just a few more seconds here. All right, we are closing the voting. And that is all the business that we had today. Thank you so much. I adjourn the business meeting, and those results will come in just a little bit after everything's tallied.
Hey, can we thank Dina for the great work that she did? You're a rock star. You are a rock star. A couple more things we want to do before we move into our break and then ordination. A couple of quick things. Hey, you can go this way, madam. No, go in front of me. It's really okay. You're a woman in ministry, and we just, I think, probably voted, unless we were stupid, to go forward with that. So, yeah. This year, we have 4 individuals who are, we have people that move around, obviously, but we have 4 individuals that are, quote-unquote, retiring. And I just want to honor, we have Les Barkman, Bob Abbott, Mark Norvat, and then Dave Kingsbury. Dave, do you happen to be in the room today? David, would you please come up here? We just want to honor, so hang on. These are, in this case, happen to be all men, but all men who have served really, really well over the years in various positions. And go ahead, David, come on up. And I'll tell you, David Kingsbury could win anyone, anywhere to Jesus. He's a raving evangelist, has brought more people to Jesus than probably most of us in this room combined. And David, I just want to join what others have said and will say about you, and that is that you have served the King and his kingdom really well. And it's there's nothing that we could give you that would actually say enough. But here you go, and it's signed by Pastor Wayne, most importantly, and by myself, along with a medal and recognition of service. Can we just now express our appreciation to Pastor Dave for his service? Can I just say, what you just did blessed the daylights out of me. It's really important to me that we have a region that honors. And it makes sense that we would give a standing ovation to Pastor Wayne. We love him and appreciate him very much, and it's a hard position for him to be in. I didn't mention that. Everyone thinks they want to be general superintendent until you become one, and then the only thing that comes to your desk are the hard things most of the time, stuff that none of us ever know about. It's another thing when you give a standing ovation to a pastor who never served in a really, really large church, but who served really faithfully and really well. Pastor David, we honor you, sir, and I just want to honor you as our delegates. Thank you for that in all 3 places. A couple of things really quickly here. We want to honor the RBA members who have served really, really well. What's interesting is that the people on the screen, not all of them, I'm so grateful for the people that are on the screen. Some of them, John, let me just talk about John, who's here today in the middle on the top there. John served, looks really cool in those sunglasses, but John served for many, many years on the North Michigan District Administration, the DBA. Many, many years there, and then served on the RBA. Same with Delbert, but he served in East Michigan. Dave served for many years in North Michigan as well. Obviously, Pastor Chase is such an influencer in our denomination. So grateful for him. Karen, super grateful for her as well from Wisconsin. Brent Bickle, his dad was obviously the former district superintendent. We love Brent very much. I would just, those are individuals who have served really well over the years on our Regional Board of Administration. I would just like you to say thank you to them for their dedicated service. You would. And now, if we could go to the next slide. Thanks to your votes here, these are the individuals that you just voted in as your new Regional Board of Administration. And I would just say to you, you have their names. Would you please be praying? We really do want to be a leadership discernment community together. We want to discern God's good, perfect, and pleasing will. And yeah, it's not a high-priced or sexy job. It's just really, really hard work sometimes. But I have to tell you, I was really blessed. If we could go back to the last slide for just a second. At our last meeting, which happened just over a month ago now, 2 or 3 of those individuals came up to me after the meeting was over and were weeping because they so enjoyed serving you. And I'm really grateful. If you can go back now to the slide today, if I could just be honest with you, pastors in the room, you know what it's like to serve with a board that is just wisdom-filled and a great team to work with. And these individuals have been and will be, and I'm looking forward to serving them with them. So can we thank those who are going to be serving going on to the future? Ask me and I'll tell you, I say this many places. I said it every year for the last 10 years, I think. The hardest job, I think, in the world is to be the president of a Christian college or university. I just think it's a really tough job. And Indiana Wesleyan University has a great president, Dr. Kalaga. And I want you to watch this video. And then Dr. Kalaga has been with us all day today. He's here now. He's going to greet us briefly. But let's watch this video. And then after that, Dr. Kalaga, you're free to have the stage.
At Indiana Wesleyan University, we are unapologetically Christ-centered. In today's world, that's a distinct position and one we hold with conviction. Scripture is our foundation, and everything we do, from the classroom to the athletic field to global ministry, is shaped by that commitment. We remain deeply aligned with Wesleyan doctrine, not out of obligation, but because it offers timeless guidance for a rapidly changing world. Here at IWU, we are proud to offer a Wesleyan education, one we deeply value for its power to not only inform the mind, but also transform the heart and equip students to lead lives of holy love and service. As we continue to live out that vision, we're seeing a renewed connection with Wesleyan churches across the country, a shared passion for raising up Christ-centered leaders for a changing world, and one we're deeply grateful for. We're also preparing to host the 14th General Conference of the Wesleyan Church right here on our campus in May of 2026. It's an honor to welcome pastors and leaders from across the denomination, and we are already working hard to prepare our facilities and pray towards this important moment.
As Dr. Kalaga mentioned, our mission isn't just about what we believe, it's about how we live it out together. This year, we saw 75% of our residential campus connected in small groups. Students tell us how meaningful these smaller spaces of growth and discipleship are for them. It makes sense. After all, our Wesleyan tradition has this rich history of gathering together in smaller groups for the purpose of deep inner transformation toward holy love. The impact has been powerful. This academic year alone, 65 Indiana Wesleyan University students were baptized. Many of them shaped by the relationships formed in those very groups. That's community. That's spiritual formation. And it's happening every day.
We're also standing firm in a culture that increasingly challenges Christian convictions, and we're doing it in partnership with the local church. Each year, more than 600 Wesleyan students study on our Marion campus. Over the past decade, Wesley Seminary has helped train over 700 Wesleyan pastors. And thanks to your generosity and faithful giving through USF and EIF, IWU is able to provide more than $7 million each year in scholarship support to Wesleyan families, including children of active pastors. We also offer additional scholarship opportunities, making a Christ-centered education both affordable and accessible for hundreds of Wesleyan students. That's not just generosity, it's mission in action, and we are deeply grateful.
That kind of clarity and resolve is also fueling new initiatives like the 21st Century Church Curriculum. As Dr. Kalaga said, we're navigating a rapidly changing world, and this curriculum is about equipping the church to meet that moment with creativity, conviction, and community. We're convening leaders, connecting resources, and creating space for churches to thrive. For example, initiatives like the Bridge Initiative offer discounted courses and creative pathways to reduce student debt, all while strengthening ministry preparation. We're also exploring competency-based education options that empower local churches to take a more active role in forming future leaders. And we're listening. Thanks to real suggestions from pastors through church relations committee conversations, we're putting tangible actions into motion. We don't just want your feedback, we want it to shape our future.
We're deeply grateful for your prayers, your partnership, and your presence in this mission. This is your university, and we are honored to carry the Wesleyan banner with you. Through partnerships with organizations such as Museum of the Bible and Trust Edge Leadership Institute, we seek to expand kingdom work and bring new people into the work of the Wesleyan Church for Christ. And this fall, we're excited to open our new Welcome Center, featuring artifacts on loan from the Museum of the Bible as a tangible reminder of our shared commitment to the work of Christ and the Word of God. We don't want to just be known by the church. We want to walk with the church. Our desire is to listen, to learn, and to come alongside your ministry. Not to take over, but to serve. This fall, we're also planning to offer an exclusive online event for Wesleyan pastors, equipping them with new research and tools for ministry. More details will come soon, but know that we are committed to leveraging our resources for your success. We are excited to welcome pastors, families, and leaders from across the Wesleyan Church during General Conference next year, and we're working hard to ensure every guest feels at home. So whether you're sending students our way, partnering in prayer, or just curious about how IWU can support your church, we invite you in. Let's keep building together. One student, one church, one kingdom movement at a time. Well, good afternoon. I was going to announce I have an app for those who have been felt abused into using Whova. It's a private app. It's anonymous, but if you want to, you can use your and submit your name. Also, I thought it might be good to have a memorial where we posthumously excommunicate Henry Martin Robert, who wrote Robert's Rules of Order. The interesting thing about that is that he wrote those in 1876 because he was, and this is true, it's true because it's on Wikipedia, he was embarrassed about a meeting that he had at his church, and it went into chaos. And so he came home and he wrote the book because he was so embarrassed about the meeting he led at a church. So we've all had a part in that history. I just want to share a couple, maybe some stats and then some announcements, and then just tell two quick stories. First of all, I want to, on behalf of Dr. Kalaga on the video, also thank you for your support. We couldn't do it without you. It takes about $650,000 a day to run Indiana Wesleyan University. And your support is so incredibly needed and appreciated. If you are an IWU, Marian, Wesley Seminary alum, would you stand? Just 2 seconds. Just stand. IWU, Marian College. All right. Good. Awesome. Thank you. I know I'm this close to break, and I'm trying to keep everybody awake. We have 6 summer teams out this summer with 40 staff. We're going to 42 summer camps. We'll be in front of 20,000 middle school and high school students. This spring, we had 3,200 students attend our Fusion and Never Too Young events. Right now, we have Never the Same on our campus for 2 weeks. Over the course of those events, the Fusion and Never the Same, we had 1,218 students make commitments to Christ or recommit their life. And what we're finding is that there is Charlie Alcock, who helps run our ministries, has said this is the best kind of response he has seen in 20 years. And I know Charlie's been doing it for 80, but in the last 20 years, we have a great enrollment on campus, 2,200 students on campus. We were 19%, our freshman class was 19% higher this fall than last fall. It's set to be about 10 to 12% higher, the class coming in. Our school has zero debt right now because of your gifts. National and Global is running around 12,000 students, but we have a program where Indian students who are here on STEM program visas, 95% of them are Muslim. And they're here because they're studying a STEM program, but we are presenting Christ to them, and they are having several of them are having very serious conversations about what it means, and they are saying that Jesus is coming to them in dreams. And so our seminary is running about 600. So we're running about 13,800, and that's great. Numbers are great, but what those are souls. And those are souls we take seriously about stewarding for the kingdom. You will know that we have the 7-pack. It used to be a 6-pack, but I think it had bad PR being a 6-pack for Wesleyans. So now it's a 7-pack for ordination, especially related to ordination, right? A 6-pack for ordination. But that is now up and running. It's self-paced. It's online, so you can go as fast as you want. And when you're done with one, it just rolls into another, and so you don't have to worry for it to be offered. We're partnering with church planting and church multiplication with Ed Love. We're partnering with Christy Lipscomb and Urban Ministries and Community Development. What we're finding, and this is really my heart, is I was a youth pastor right out of college, and what we're finding at Indiana Wesleyan, this is not going to be like a shock, or this is not a news flash, because you already get it. There is a lot of expertise that has nothing to do with being a faculty member, having a PhD or a D-Min or whatever letters you want to put after your name. There is out in the churches a lot of expertise. And so what I've asked the seminary to do and the campus to do is to partner with you in the local church. And if you have a leadership program that's happening in your church, if you have a community development program, if you're doing a children's ministry program, we're partnering with Kids Matters with Ryan Frank. We're partnering with, we want to partner more with Never the Same and the Eckharts. We want to help launch that. We want to help give academic credit for that. We want to help certify that in some way. We really believe there's so much expertise in the churches, and we're not the repository of all wisdom just because we have the university tagline. And so we are going to be reaching out more and more to the denomination and other denominations. We are approved and have been approved by the Global Methodist Church, not only Indiana Wesleyan, but also the seminary. And we are partnering with them on their ordination track as well. So I just want you to know that we are going to be reaching out more intentionally into the church. We're starting a vocational school for certified automotive technicians. It's going to be statewide. That's a fancy word for mechanics. But we're actually going to go into the trade school. I've received $1 million grant from the state of Indiana, and Indiana Wesleyan has matched it with a $1 million grant. And so what we're doing across the state of Indiana is that students will stay at home and receive their automotive training in their local dealership. We're working and partnering with dealerships. They won't have to pay room and board, but you can, if you want, send your child and pay room and board at Indiana Wesleyan, and we'll put them in a dealership in Marion. But if you live in a rural area, we can partner with that dealership. They'll deliver that program, and we will deliver an associate's degree online at the same time. And for debt-free, basically debt-free, a student will become a certified automotive technician and get an associate's degree from Indiana Wesleyan. So we're going to start looking into the trade school opportunity as well. 2 quick stories, just to tell you where I think Indiana Wesleyan's at. The Lord laid on my heart, we have an emergency management plan. You hear about it all the time in churches or in schools where in case there's an active shooter on campus, You need to get a plan. You know, where's the headquarters going to be? Where are you going to meet? Where's Command Central? Who's going to take care of all these things? And the Lord laid in my heart that we've been praying for revival, but we haven't been planning for revival. So we pulled together our 24-member response team and had a tabletop exercise as though it was an active shooter. But the scenario we did this spring was revival. So what's going to happen in the chapel? Who gets in? Who gets out? Where's the tents going to be? Who's going to order the porta-johns? Are we going to feed these people? Are we going to send them out? How are we working the shuttles? Who's working security? How are we going to have classes going on in the middle of all this? There were hundreds of different scenarios that we had to think through. But my heart is just simply that we're praying for revival, and I see it happening. Students are staying after chapel for another hour, 150 of them just to pray longer. They're showing up at the chapel at night to pray for another hour to bring revival to campus. Chris, your setup this morning was so great. This generation is hungry for revival, and they're praying for it. And I really believe, I believe that within the next year we could see something happen on our campus. I'll close real quickly. Our daughter adopted a little girl, 7 years old, out of foster care in a ranch, and because of all the things that her little life has experienced in that time, you know, home is an interesting time. But they tell her she has to stay in a room till 7 o'clock in the morning, which is a real challenge when you wake up at 4:30. So they have a clock they have in her room, and they had to teach her to tell time. And then, you know, you can't leave until 7 a.m. Well, she gets up and she changes the clock till 7 a.m. And then she sneaks out and changes the clocks in the house to 7 a.m. And then she goes and wakes my daughter up. And she says it's 7 a.m. And Rachel knows it's not. And so she pulls out her iPhone and she says, no, it's 4:45. What has happened in our culture is that they've changed all the clocks. And they're telling you that a man is a woman and a woman is a man. And they're telling you all the different things. And the culture doesn't have an iPhone to pull out and say, no, no. But we have the scriptures. We have the Bible. We have a source of truth. Now, for my daughter, there's a lot of untruth on an iPhone, but hopefully the clock is still right. That's the centering truth. The centering truth is no, it's 4:45 regardless of what you did to the clocks. And the biblical worldview is still truth when the culture says something contrary. And everything we do at Indiana Wesleyan is based on the Word of God and the work of Christ. And we are so grateful to be part of the Wesleyan Church. Thank you.
One more thing, and then upcoming events, and we're done. And then we get to ordain a bunch of people, which is so cool. But can I just tell you, most of you wouldn't have a clue or care that I'm blessed to serve as the chairman of the Wesleyan Pension Fund. And can I just tell you, I am so passionate about pastors being paid their pension. And so if you happen to be here and you're a layperson, I'm begging you to make sure that you pay your pastor's pension. Because if they get to retirement and there's nothing there, shame on us. We need to do the very best that we can. And so Jim Weineman has served with Wesleyan Pension Fund for how many years now, sir?
Almost 3.5.
Almost how many?
3.5 almost.
3.5, okay? And has served at, before that year was Wesleyan Publishing House. So you've been with the Wesleyan gig for how long now?
36.
Woo! 36 years. Awesome. A few years ago, no, not even that long ago, Wesleyan Pension Fund joined with Servant Solutions. Quite frankly, so we could do a better job. And the vice president of Servant Solutions is with us here today as well. I'm going to let Jim introduce you so I shut up and you guys talk. So Jim, thanks for being here.
Well, thank
you.
It's great to have you, Chris. Thank you for allowing us to come. It's been great to see some of you. Some of you I went to school with. I wasn't going to say how many years, but Chris let that out of the bag. So I'm Jim Weineman, Wesleyan Pension Fund. We are thrilled to be here and partner with you. Wesleyan Pension Fund's been around since merger. Some of you know what that means. Some of you don't, but that's okay. We serve over 1,000 churches. We want it to be all the churches. We serve 4,500 members with assets over $370 million. So we are partnering with you, but there's so much more we can do. And our mission is to serve the church. We want to partner with you, with the churches, so that we can help pastors and staff prepare for retirement. Today, we want to kind of share with you where we're going in our partnership with Servant Solutions. So just thanks for allowing us to be here. We want to talk to you. Call our office. Make an appointment to talk with us. We want to talk with you personally. Nabil Safi, COO of Servant Solutions, he's going to share a little bit about our partnership.
Thanks, Jim, and good afternoon, and thank you for being here today, and thank you for inviting us. Again, my name is Nabil Safi, and I serve as the Vice President at Servant Solutions. I'm also an ordained minister, so I understand the life of a minister. And on behalf of Servant Solutions and Wesleyan Pension Fund, I want to let you know that we love you, and we pray for you during your years of ministry and during your retirement. And we want to link those years together. I want to make sure that you have the hope that you can one day retire in dignity. Because we believe every Wesleyan servant of the church deserves to retire in dignity. And Servant Solutions has been serving ministers for the last 75 years. And we serve over 10,000 participants through 2,500 organizations across the U.S. And this partnership is one reason to give glory to God and to celebrate the Wesleyan Pension Fund, because the Wesleyan Pension Fund is a great and strong and a growing organization. We serve churches, we serve higher education, and we serve nonprofit organizations as well. Wesleyan Pension Fund is growing numerically in numbers of people, and assets under management as well. Friends, we know that life brings financial challenges, and we know that you guys are called here at the Great Lakes region to serve and to focus on the 22 million. You're not called to focus and to time the market and the stock market. We want you to relieve you from one more thing on your shoulders so that you can focus on the lost people. And we are here to partner with you. Please call our offices. Find our team. We have up to 25 people to serve this whole body of Christ so that you can have the hope and dignity to retire. And in a few weeks, you will receive a survey from us because your input and your voice is important for us. So please let us know, how do you feel about your retirement so we can serve you better. Great Lakes leaders, thank you for inviting us. Pastor Conrad, thank you for being here, for allowing us to be here, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know you're on the edge of your seats waiting for the voting results. I have just a couple upcoming events for you to be aware of. First, we have 41 Hours coming back. Yes, we're excited. October 5 through 7, it's going to be back at the Amway Grand. You're not going to want to miss it. Renew and Revive. We have already been praying and discerning. Then if your heart has been stirred at all for this multiplication pathway, we have several events and resources that you're going to want to be a part of. First, make sure you check out our multiplication website, multiplyglr.com. So many resources right there for you. Then on October 24 and 25, we have the Empower Tour, which will be held at Daybreak Church in Hudsonville, Michigan. It is an event for youth, young adults, and the leaders that serve them. Going to be many sessions and breakouts. You're not going to want to miss that. Of course, Exponential is back November 18 through 20. I want to see you there in Chicago. Please come. You don't want to miss it. The resources are phenomenal. The speakers are amazing. The worship is outstanding. Come to Exponential. Don't miss it. Boot camp is where it's at.
Boot camp, people.
You have to go to boot camp July 24 and 25 at the Ministry Center. It is awesome. I have sat through boot camp and learned so much, and it is honestly for everybody, for anybody. It's not just for people who want to plant churches. If you want to up your evangelism game, go to boot camp. It is phenomenal. And then my final announcement, drum roll, regional conference next year, 2026. I know you're dying and ready and excited about it already.
Let me breathe today.
I know, right? It will be, we're going to gather all together as one. We're going to take all 3 sites and we're going to be together in Chicagoland. It will be the first weekend in June. More information will come. We are gathering together because we will be immediately following the big general conference, and that's why we're all going to come together as one collective group. So can't wait to see you there. Dina.
Voting results, everyone, they're on the screen. You can see that the Regional Board of Administration members, that whole slate was approved by voice vote. Chris Bickett will be the Regional Board Secretary. The nominating committee are those who were proposed to you, recommended to you by the nominating team. The person who was nominated from the floor did not receive enough votes. And we approved all of the General Conference delegates, and all 4 of the memorials passed. So those will now go on to the General Board for consideration for General Conference. My part is finished. Thank you so much.
So we just want to thank you so much for coming at all 3 locations. We love you so much. When you leave, make sure you grab your belongings, grab any trash just to help us out a little bit so that the cleanup's easier. Fill out the survey that's going to be pushed to you through Whova. It will help us for 2026. And then I just want to invite you all, if you actually love ordination, which I do, it's an incredibly sacred, powerful event. We're going to start our ordination service in 15 minutes, and you don't want to miss it. If you have to go back to your home or wherever you're going, it will be live streamed on Whova. There is a link on Whova for you. Chris.
Last thing I want to say, and then we'll be done, and that is I want to say personally thank you to Dave Dorner, the pastor of Frontline. I want to say thank you to Brian Savage, the pastor at Heritage, and I want to say thank you to Wes, Duff, the pastor at Red Cedar. Thank you, gentlemen, for allowing us to use your churches and to be here. Thank you all for being here and making this a part of your early summer. Really, really appreciative of you. If you're like me, you love worship, and some of you don't get to enjoy worship at a super high level all the time. So we're going to do one last worship song as we leave. We love you so much. Thank you for being here today. Let's stand and worship, and you are free to go.
This is amazing. the King.